Yeah, so mouse recorder. So the mouse recorder I use is Lieko. Mouse recorder premium 1.0.43. The problem with if you go and search up mouse recorder premium, you can't find the old version because the old version is free. They've ever since updated the old version to this new like 2.0 version that is like a subscription fee, but this old version has everything. So find the link in the description below. Now, giving you an idea on how you would use this and a couple of things that you need to pay attention to in this recorder thing. So first off, this is what I would usually use this recorder for. Is there's a bunch of these files that I want to download, but this is a textbook and there's a ton of these files, right? So in a way, I would start to set up how I wanted to record, how I wanted to repeat. The only problem is I can't make this program select each and every single one. I can't make it go down the list. That's one restriction for these softwares like these. I really hope that they would implement like an if statement or some kind of a counter that would continue to count however many pixels down, but none of them that I've found does that. So in this case, I would have to set it up, and I'd open a bunch of tabs so that it would open up at the top. It would look like this. So then the next thing is I'd have to go and hit download, and then it would open the page for me, and then I would hit download, and then it would download to whatever folder I want, and then I essentially would want to close the tab. So make sure that all the tabs are doing the same thing. But going forward would have its own issue. So you can play around with the software on your own, but I'm going to straight up tell you that going from the back is makes the most sense. So you can go ahead and hit record. So make sure that the windows are in focus or not. So if I go over here, like it's not in focus right now. Going over here, hitting it one time doesn't work, because now it's in focus. Then you hit record, then you start recording exactly what you want it to do. Couple things you need to pay attention in the software is there's a window change situation. I find that the window change interferes with your mouse clicks, especially if the name has changed. So right now, yes, I will be clicking back on Chrome, but the tab is different. The tab is no longer 041. The new tab is 038. So this thing won't work. Just hit it and then hit delete. Hit delete. Delete all the window changes. Now, if you've had this software opened up, you can, of course, go ahead and go into Edit Macro and remove that and remove these things. But I would suggest that just delete the window changes. And then now if you go ahead and hit play, okay, you would notice that I left click, and it tells you that you can see that left click right here, the crosshair, and then there's a wait time. I wait until the page loads up, and then there's a mouse movement. Ooh, this the worst background ever. So there's a mouse movement, and then I click over here to download. I click save, and then I move down there and click save, and then I move back up here to hit this X button. Okay, I can then also repeat it however many times I want, but I'm going to add one thing. You can either do a right-click insert, or you can edit macro and do a wait time. So make sure you click where you want it to be. I want it to be right after, so I'm going to hit a wait and put in, this is in milliseconds, I'm going to wait 500 milliseconds, half a second. And it's going to wait half a second, so then the new page would load. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs open. I'm going to repeat this 6 times. Hit play, and then it's going to do its thing. If you find the macro screwing up, immediately move your mouse. You just heard that it went ding. That's because it would tell you on the bottom right corner. Right now you don't see my bottom right corner of my screen. It says mouse interrupted. So moving your screen or doing a key press will interrupt the playback. Now, there's a couple of settings that you can play around with, such as, for example, right here. Pause playback on mouse move, pause playback on key press. If you uncheck these two things, essentially you start the playback, you cannot stop it. You start the playback, you cannot stop it until it's done. There has been a situation where I tried that and I unchecked both. I looped something 100 times. Instead of waiting for it, I restarted the computer. It was faster. So I usually keep them on unless you like the mouse could be accidentally moved by just shaking the table. So you could uncheck this one and then pause playback on key press. Same thing. Up to you on the settings. I need to tell you about the settings. I need to tell you about the window changes because if the window changes are not there, if you don't delete the window changes, it will not work. Such as, for example, if I open up another one, like this one, and recorded the window change, oh, okay, then never mind, didn't work. Okay, I can just restart the recording. I want to show you if you don't do the window, if you don't delete the window change, what happens. Oh, there's less window changes now. Okay, so I'm clicking on another one. This is 002. This one's 059. If I go and play, it's not able to find. You hear that ding sound again? Yeah, because it didn't find this page 0.59. Okay, so getting rid of it, and then it would play. Okay, so to finish off the video, there's one more thing that I need to point out to you. I need to restart the recording because this is not the recording that I originally had. So again, I was telling you that going from the back in this case, it works a little better because going from the front, you have to wait for the animation to kind of shrink. So sometimes it can throw it off. Okay, and then the other problem that you might already have noticed is the X's are not in the same position if you started here. So if you start closing off the tabs here, the X is not in the same position. So that's why I recommend starting over here. But there's also another problem by starting over here. You'll see very quickly. I'm purposely doing a short little wait time so then in case the internet lags or something happens, then there's a wait there. So I'm going to delete the window changes. This one's not set up properly. So I'm here. Okay, here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do this 6 times. Okay, you see how it didn't actually click the download button? So that's a problem. So it seems like mouse move and left mouse button down. These are some of the things that you need to pay attention to. When they do capture left mouse down and then up. So if you intend to click it, try not to click and move the mouse because it clearly had registered that you hit the button down, dragged it and then lifted up your finger. So if you're gonna do a click, nice and clean, click, don't move the mouse. So made a mistake, let's do it one more time. Get rid of the window changes and add a wait time, 500 milliseconds. Not there, down here. Okay, play. The problem now is apparent. Even though I started off at the back, the X is no longer there. Okay, so now that you set it up properly to a certain degree, then you know you, based on the window size, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tabs, you know that the X is going to start there, so you can open up all the tabs, whatever you want, and then the X will be there all the time. Okay, that's one thing that you need to pay attention to. Now, if you really need to change based on what it is, this change where the thing is based on where the object lies. Unfortunately, this particular one doesn't do it for you. It can only do exactly what you told it to do. There are other things that you can try. You can do some typing text. You can click other things. You can wait for pixel color. I've never actually gotten this one to work, so I've never really tried. So, well, have fun.